Howdy, howdy, howdy. Rigaroga here. And there are a lot of loud cats in the background. But, hi. I'm Rigaroga, you're you. And, cats are over there. Cats are over there. Ranga's making all kinds of noise. You can totally hear him, I bet. Her. They're all hers except for Orcus. Not the bad Orcus we're fighting in this module. Orcus, my cat. Who I also call Ka for short. Yeah, so we're, I just played yesterday and we got to the point of, we were just gonna go in and attack the chieftain, Balgron, I think. Balgron, is that right? But playing with characters from Stranger Things, from the box set, and then I also, when I started the second adventure, I added Max as a rogue with a zoomer archetype, which makes her faster. But the actual adventure that we're playing, as a reminder, is we're currently on. It's keep on the upside down. I'm retheming this module as well. I'm retheming Shadowfell as the upside down from Stranger Things, and so we're playing through, and what we've got up is last time we made it to the torture chamber, and we met a goblin that was in captivity that we freed. And told us about places that we had already been. So we probably knew he was giving us good information, but he said that these two double doors go to the Chief Balgron, and that there's like at least another 10 creatures in there with him, partying it up and all that sort of stuff. And probably the reason why we didn't hear it is because it's two double iron doors and it just muffled the sound or whatever, but they're in there partying, and so we're getting ready to do that. I think we're gonna rest up a little bit, or use a healing potion or something to reset, but we're gonna move in. I think what happens is that our main players they're incredibly gullible. I rolled for it last time, and they totally believe this little creature. I'm trying to be nice, but as the DM, I know he's completely not trustworthy, but the players don't. So the characters are like, okay, here, you hold this suit of armor that we got off of the big bad in that other room, and stay in this room, lock the door, stay safe. And we're gonna go get the chief. And our marching order is as usual, something like that. And so I think we're gonna try and stealth. So let's just do a stealth roll. The thing is, at some point, I think we should have started doing guidance and bless, and I haven't really been doing that, and I know that from my Caesar Vodari thing, I was doing really bad at keeping track of that, like who had bless and who had guidance. But yeah, let's give bless to a few people. Probably Mike, Will, and 11 are gonna have bless. I think it's 3 people. And guidance is a cantrip, so we could have cast that easily, while other people were healing and stuff. So we'll go ahead and do that, and then I'll try and remember. It's gonna be a mess, but so anyhow, so we are gonna roll stealth. Let's see what happens. Well, let's wait on that for a second. So we roll stealth and then we go into the door. And I think what happens, and this is where the camera cuts back to the goblin, and the goblin is like, sort of looking down at the treasure, and then like just holds for a second and like looks at the door, and we've gone through the door, and the door closes behind us, and then immediately springs into action, rifles through, grabs all the gold off of all the bodies, grabs that plate of armor, or the thing of armor, which is probably the most expensive thing they've ever seen, like in their hands. I don't know. That might be racist. But anyhow, it's an expensive piece of item. So they're gonna grab all of that and just book it. They that's probably the biggest haul they're gonna get out of this group. It figures, and it's safe, like completely safe to grab it and go. So we're probably not gonna see them again. So let's go ahead and we're gonna switch over, and I'm gonna try to draw this map a little bit larger because it feels like I was really cramped as far as like how much space I had. So let's grab the map for this area. So it come in. And I think what we see here is we see this. So let's go ahead and bring our friends back. And let's roll that stealth. So did we manage to stealth in there? I don't know. So stealth 13 with a I don't know how well that's gonna go. Okay, so what are those? Those are, oh my god, wrong area. Wow, I was like, what the heck are those? So what we've got, Ranga, shush, come on. So I'm gonna, this blood cut armor, I'm gonna go ahead and put off to the side because Splurge or whatever the heck grabbed it, and so we'll probably never see that again. Let's get our characters out. And hobgoblins have a passive perception of 10. Well, okay, so 13 is plenty. I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna rule, not roll. I'm gonna rule that we did in fact go manage to do. That we did manage to do that. And there's gonna be a table in here, like right here, with chairs right here, and there's 2 goblins sitting at this table, and so we trundle in right around that corner, and then burst in, and so this room is 2 goblins sitting at this table playing cards, their weapons close at hand. To the east, there's thick tapestries that cover the walls. On the table between the goblins sits a small bronze bell. Okay, so we've got to get that bell is what's going on. So because of that stealth roll, let's give... that's hobgoblin, actually, not goblin. Where's goblin? Where's goblin? Is goblin in here? Goblin, there we go. Passive perception 9, yeah, so there it's even lower. So let's go ahead and roll an initiative for them. 12. And then so 5, 13, 2, 12, and then we've got 2 more, 11 and 1, so 11, and next to 11 and 1. Okay, so we've got Will, 11, Dustin, Goblins, Max, Mike, and Lucas. And that's our initiative order for now. And so when we add the other ones, I'll have no idea where they go in the lineup, but we'll figure it out. Hey, Takern. How's it going? Thanks for joining. We're just getting ready to attack 2 goblins here, and then somewhere in here is Balgron, the hobgoblin leader of this area, a chieftain. Okay, so let's do this. So we're getting 1 surprise round. I think Will. Let's see. Will Cleric. Okay, Will Cleric is going to go and... well, I mean, we're going to do Spiritual Weapon, right? I mean, why wouldn't we? Spiritual Weapon. And so we'll attack with Spiritual Weapon. And that's a 1d8. It's going to be +4 to hit. Oh, I need to... God, a little bit disorganized this morning. So our first 2 goblins, and these goblins are, what was it, 15 and 7. So that's our enemies so far. And then we'll add the rest later. So we're going to go ahead and do a roll. And we do, yeah, actually... we have Bless if we need it. And that's 3 is not enough. So that's not even going to be close. We won't use Bless. So we're going to go ahead and use our light crossbow on our action. So that's +5 to hit. That's a natural 20. So we're not going to use Bless. And then that's going to be 14 damage. That's going to wipe out one of them. So one of them was reaching towards that bell as we come around the corner and gets completely like has to duck and protect its head so it can't reach for the bell, and then a crossbow bolt just goes right through the eyes, and it's dead straight off. So that's Will. 11 is next. So 11 is going to probably do Ray of Frost. Yeah, let's do Ray of Frost. We're going to save our spells for our actual spells. So this is a cantrip. So we're going to cast Ray of Frost at +5 to hit, and it's a d8 of cold damage. So that's a 10 + 5. That is just enough to hit. So we're going to do 5 damage to that other goblin. And it... I think it also was reaching for it and then got cold, and it's like, oh my god, that's cold. And we did use up our Wand of Magic Missiles last time, so it's not charged until we rest. So Dustin Bard is up next. So I think as we were resting, I mean, to be fair, he would have, I think as they were preparing with Bless and all that, he did do Inspiration for Mike. you know, a little power ballad. Dustin is right there. I think he's going to take a swing with the 80s power rock death metal guitar axe that he got at a pawn shop in Winter Haven. So he's going to roll, and he's going to do it over, you know, double-handed, and try and thwack the crap out of that guy. So it's +5 to hit. And that is exactly what he needed. And that's 9 damage, and that's enough to kill it. So I think, 11, Ray of Frost, and then it starts to shiver, and then Dustin Bard just grabs the axe over, you know, the axe hammer and guitar, and it makes that guitar noise of hitting things, and just smack right into the middle of the head. And he was already cold, and then it probably just cracks his neck. So we've got those two out of the way. Let us take a really quick look at Balgron. Let's roll one more. Yeah, let's just roll a perception for Balgron. I don't think that's high enough. That's an 8, and even with a couple pluses, that's like not really enough. And they're kind of being quiet and quick. So we're gonna go ahead and give it to them. So I think they look around this little room, simple guard room, and I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna look around and maybe check these tapestries and do a quick peek, right? So what do they see? They see. So this is gonna be a hallway. Oops, they wouldn't have seen that far. But so there's a door here, and then this goes down, and then they see a door here that goes to double doors down here. And they don't know what's right here because they can't see it. But we're getting... I really feel like... God, do we... Oh, man, do we split the party? Man, oh, man. That's such a bad idea. Well, let's split the difference. This is a close door. It's like... so Mike is like, oh, okay, there's a door like about 10 feet in. And Will is like, well, there's a door like right here. It's like, oh, okay, let's do that one. And so they pile up, I think, right here. And get ready. To bust in. And so we're going to go ahead and bust open that door. Bang! And here's the room that we see. And there's some bunk beds, or yeah, I mean, you know, barrack beds or whatever. And so there's going to be 5. So there's 3 and 2. There's going to be 5 total. So we've got another, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 goblins here. Okay. So what happens? Are we at the top of the turn order? Or do we go with... Well, I mean, to be fair, the goblins are next. in initiative order. We're just going to keep that going. So I think they're just going to fire. There's 5 of them, so they're going to fire 2 and 3. So 2 at will. Okay, they don't have pack tactics, so that's fine. And will, is it +4 to hit? That is not enough, even with a +4 to hit. So will is good. And Max is probably, I mean Mike. So both of those miss, and then there's going to be 3 attempts to shoot at Mike the Paladin. That's actually not enough to hit either. So I think, and it's actually totally AC stuff. So you know, arrows, they just like grab their arrows and shoot, and arrows fly at the door, and you know, some hit the door jamb, some bounce off of their armor, but basically we've got a wall of armor at this point. So Mike is going to come in and push their way in here as far as they can. Just run up and attack one of these guys. So let's do an attack, possibly with Bless, and it's going to be a 2d6. So let's see how that does. Oh, man. God, even with that Bless, it's not enough. Well, it's +6 to hit. No. Nope, not enough. Okay, so we're not going to use Bless, but that was not enough. What was that? Goofy, you fell? Silly cat trying to jump on something and didn't make it. Okay, so Mike whiffs it. Lucas Ranger is way off in the distance. So Lucas Ranger, I think, is gonna sit here, and then around the corner is gonna do like a shot at is gonna Hunter's Mark. One of the ones in the distance. And doesn't get Colossal Slayer. But we are going to try to do... so Mike was up, and then... we've got +6 longbow, so let's use that. So it's going to be a 1d8. And then Hunter's Mark. Okay. 10 +6 is enough to hit. We needed 15 to hit. And the total damage is going to be 6. So we'll do 6 damage on this guy. And then that's going to be Lucas's turn. Will Cleric is up. We'll get these in turn orders pretty soon. So we're gonna so Will had the spiritual weapon and is gonna move that up to the first group here. And so spiritual weapon, we're gonna take a swipe at him. We can still use Bless if we need to, if we want to. That's not enough to hit. Well, wait. Actually, +4, that's 12. No, it's not enough. So we're going to save that and possibly use it on crossbow. That's a 19, so we don't need it. And that's a 7, so we're going to do 7. And that is enough to just flat out kill one of these. So we're going to kill one of those. So there's only one left here. Oh, and I mean, he totally would have moved in. Or he moves in now in order to clear the way. Okay, so that's Will. And then 11, I think, is going to just do a Ray of Frost to this one right here. So let's do that. It's going to be a Ray of Frost. And it's a 1d8. 1d8 cold. Will, I mean, actually, 11 was the other one that had Bless. So let's... that's not enough to hit, so we'll not use it. So Ray of Frost just sort of goes wide. Goblin is kind of around the corner, so it doesn't quite work. So Dustin Bard, I think, is going to play a little ditty to give inspiration to Will the Cleric. Oh, actually, it's going to be Mike this time, and then I think they're going to stay back. I don't think it makes sense for them to march in there because they're gonna get hurt. Bardic Inspiration is a bonus action, but I could cast... Vicious Mockery. And I haven't really done that, so let's just take a really quick look at Vicious Mockery. Must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or take 1d4 psychic damage and have disadvantage on the next attack roll it makes before the end of its turn. So I think Dustin Bard's going to sort of cast Inspiration and then mock one of the goblins over here as being, wow, you're small and green. You must be a booger. And so the goblin is going to have to make a wisdom saving throw. It's -1 against Will's DC. -12. -1 totally doesn't make it. So he takes 4 points of psychic damage over here. Just this one in front. So that's 4 points, and we'll have disadvantage. I don't know how to track that very well, but we'll do that. Okay, so Dustin calls the first one of the goblins a booger. And now the goblins are up, so we're going to go ahead and do... there's 3, so they're going to do 3 attacks. They're in short range, so these are all going to be scimitars. So it's +4 to hit. None of those hit. Those are all not good enough. They're just like swinging around. They get called a booger, and actually one of them was at disadvantage. So I mean, even then, so they're swinging their swords, and I think their swords like clash, and they get tangled up like a throne of swords or something like that. But those are all bad. So this one is going to try to attack Will the Cleric. And that is a natural 1, so it is just not going to happen. Max the Rogue is up now. I think Max is gonna zoom up and attack that one. And so it's going to be at advantage with 2d6 and a d6, I think, right? Oops. Yeah, 1d6 for short sword. So it's going to sneak attack with the short sword against that one. Oh man, oh that's painful. That's only a 5, and even with a +5 to hit, that's not enough. So it completely misses, even with advantage. That was a horrible waste. So we're back up. Mike Paladin is gonna go. Mike Paladin. Bardic Inspiration and Possible Bless. And it's going to be 2d6. So this is to hit with plenty, even without all of that. And then only 4 damage. But it's damaged. And so that's that taken out of the way. But we still have Bless if we need it. Yeah, so that's everything for Mike. So Lucas Ranger is up. Lucas Ranger is going to shoot over the halfling into that same one. And so they're going to get, it's a 20 to hit. I gotta try and remember how to, all of this, Rogue, Paladin, Ranger, there we go. Okay, so we're gonna get Colossus Slayer, which is gonna be an extra D8 damage, and then a D8 regular damage. So that's damage. And then to hit is going to be plus... Oh, wait. Hunter's Mark is damage, right? Oh my god, it's not even in here. Seriously? Okay, hold on. Hunter's Mark. Let's go. What the hell? Come on. What the hell? My keyboard stopped working. Ugh. It stopped working in the field of the thingy. There we go. God, whatever. Okay, Hunter's Mark. What the hell? So the pop-up on D&D Beyond is completely broken. Oh my god, whatever. Hunter's Mark. Whatever. Oh my god, and it's like useless. What is this? These result sets are crap. Okay. It wasn't even one of the results. Okay, so Hunter's Mark. 1d6 to damage. Okay, so it's an extra... Oh, wait. Weapon attack. Okay, so it's 2d8 plus 6. So we really need to get that hit. So this is the hit. Oh, God, and that's a 4. It's not enough to hit. Wow, that sucked. That's is potentially a lot of damage, man. Okay, so Will the Cleric is up. So Will the Cleric is here. We're trying to finish off this this one goblin with our spiritual weapon. So let's go ahead and do that. Will still has the bless. An 8 plus 4. It's only 3 damage. 8 plus 4. It's still not enough, so we're going to save it. So we're going to roll our crossbow. And that's not in. So Will completely misses it. The spiritual weapon goes over its head, and the crossbow fires and like clangs off of the spiritual weapon or something like that. 11 is going to go... 11 is back here. I don't know that 11 can even... It's like, come on, guys. Make room, make room. So over the head of the halfling, I think we're going to try and do Ray of Frost over here. So let's go ahead and do that. Ray of Frost, and it's a 1d8. Plus 5 to hit. That is enough to hit, and that's 7. So we're going to kill this one. Ray of Frost. So this one's now down to 2. Hi, Rish. And Dustin Bard is up. Dustin Bard is going to do Bardic Inspiration on Will. I mean, not Will, Mike. And then is going to lean around the corner and viciously mock. Stop it. Stop. Resh is in my lap and is whipping her tail over here and causing problems. She likes to do that. Okay, so it's going to be a will save. Or wisdom. And they fail and take... what was it? 1d4? God dang it. Yeah, 1d4 of psychic damage. So 1d4, they take 2 psychic damage. So this one... I think, yeah, I mean, wipe your nose, man. I'd say wipe your nose, but if you wiped your nose, you'd be all gone. And then it dies of psychic damage. Okay. So that's Dustin. Goblin's up. There's only 2 left. So let's just go ahead and combine those. And there's no way they're going to get out of here. So let's just go ahead and they're going to both attack. I don't know, attack Will. And that's a 15. That's actually a 20. That is going to hit. So Will takes 5 damage. Will Cleric 5. And that's all they can do. So Max the Rogue is going to attack with sneak attack. 1d6 advantage. God. That's not enough to hit. So she misses with all of that. Ugh. Yeah, even with a +5, that wasn't enough to hit. So that's out. So Mike is up and is going to attack that one. And we can use inspiration. So we've got inspiration and then 2d6 damage. That's a 9 plus 3, and then plus 6 to hit. That is enough to hit. That is definitely enough to hit. And so that's 8 damage. So this one more than kills this one. So there's only one left. Max, Mike, and now Lucas is so moving the Hunter's Mark. This one is not damaged, so we don't get Colossal Slayer. But we get 1d6 plus a d8. No. It's not Lucas, it's Mike. Mike is up. Sorry, I'm doing the wrong person. Okay, so Mike is up. Mike is up and is going to do an attack. And that's going to be with inspiration and 2d6 damage. And it's plus 6 to hit. 8 plus 6 and plus 1. Even with that plus 1, that's not enough to hit. Wait, is it? No, that's... Oh, it is. Actually, it is. That's 15. Okay, so we will use that. Well, I mean, we used it. So we used the inspiration that just hits at 15 for 6 damage. And that takes this one down to 1 hit point. Okay. Lucas Ranger is going to go ahead and attack. That's going to be with Colossal Slayer and Hunter's Mark, and then another 1d8 of damage. So we're going to try and hit 18 plus, and it doesn't matter. It's dead. There's no way it survives that. Okay, so let's roll a general perception check for the other areas and see. That's an 11. That's still not a 15. So we're going to go ahead and say they managed somehow barely to be quiet. I mean, the fact that all this battle happened around the corner and they're, muffling the sound with their bodies, I guess. They just barely managed to make that quiet enough. And so no alarms get raised. How long does spiritual weapon? Do I need to recast that? 1 minute. Well, we haven't done 10 rounds yet. But we're getting close. So we'll go ahead and we'll say that's still up. I think they back up out of this room. This sort of barracks room. They back up back to where this one to sort of strategically relocate and reorder themselves in their initiative. I mean, their marching order. And then they're going to head to this door. Well, I mean, and they'll peek around this corner. Obviously, they were close enough. So they'll just notice that is a solid wall to there. So they can probably guess that Balgron is back here. Yeah, so let's go ahead and take a look here really quick. Yeah, so I think they're going to bust open that door. I mean, stealthily. And they're going to see that there's like a 10-foot square with a tapestry behind. And in there's one goblin. And in turn order, Lucas was done. So we're actually, I think that's almost the top of the order. So Will Cleric is going to send the spiritual weapon in there to bash it. So let's do that and see if that helps. That's an 18, so it takes... so we've got one more. This is our 8th goblin, and it takes 4 hit points of damage. And then fires off a crossbow bolt. That's a natural 20, but only got 1, so that's another 2. So that's actually 6 damage. Not enough to kill it, which is not good. 11 from around the corner, I think, is going to come up and... well, I mean, Will is going to move in, and then that frees up sort of a diagonal for 11 to do Shocking Grasp. Or, I mean, Ray of Frost. So +5 to hit. That's a natural 20 with a 6. That completely fries that goblin. Which is pretty wild. So next up in the turn order is Dustin Bard, who I think is going to run up. Let's do a stealth. 9 plus 4. It's 13. Their passive perception is really low. I'm going to give it to him. He's going to peek through and see what the rest of it is. So he peeks into this room, and what he sees is a basically a 20 by 40-ish room. And it sees a whole bunch of, I don't know what, treasure, it looks like. Storage stuff over here. And there are 4 goblins in here. So 3 here and 1 here. And then turns around and sort of, motions 4. 1 that way. 3 that way. And I think that's going to be... I think that's his action, actually. So do the goblins hear anything? They've sort of got to, but let's roll just to give it to them. That's a 19. Even with a minus, I think that's enough that they actually are, hear that something happened behind that curtain. They heard the thump of the body as the bodies hit the floor, and so they're gonna prep. They're gonna move into the corners, prep their bows and arrows, and hold an action for the first things that come through that door. Oh God, Max. I think Max is going to zoom up and just get right in front of Dustin Bard and get ready. Because she doesn't quite have enough movement to get through there. Mike Paladin, I think, will definitely smash through here towards the group that had more. Oh, well, wait. Yeah, no. Sorry. Dustin would have done inspiration on Mike. Well, except we're stealthy. We wouldn't have made noise. He was being stealthy. Okay, so no. So we're going to attack one of those. So we've got 4 more. So 8, 9, 10, and 11, and 12. And I don't know why I spaced those out so far, but I did. So that's what we got. So Mike is going to attack one of those. no inspiration, and it's going to be 2d6, so it's going to be +6 to hit. Max should have held her action for when Mike came up and shot off an arrow, but oh well. So +6 to hit. That's not enough to hit. So Mike rushes through and like gets kind of caught up in that curtain, and like tries to swing, but the sword kind of catches on something, and it just does not work. And he comes busting through, kind of trips over, and says, "Howdy, guys." Lucas Ranger will step up and through the curtain, like Max holds it open or something like that, and is going to shoot. Hunter's Mark, one of these guys. How about this one? And is going to attack. It's 1d8, not 1d6, and it's +6 damage. Okay, so let's see if he can hit him. That's a 9 + 6. Oh god, that is actually enough. And so it does 6 damage to this one, which is almost enough to kill it, but not quite. So Will Cleric, I think, moves up, sends Spiritual Weapon over to this one. So is going to attack Spiritual Weapon. It's 1d8. That's a 5 + 5, or that's 9. That's not enough. So Spiritual Weapon whiffs it. Shoots off crossbow. That is definitely enough. 8 + 3 is enough to totally kill that one. So this one is gone. And so next up is 11. 11 is way in the back, but so we're going to rush up and do Ray of Frost. That's plenty to hit. That's a 3. So we'll do 3 damage. 3 cold damage. +5 to hit. That's a heroic hit. And Dustin Bard is up. Dustin Bard is going to play a little inspiration for Mike, and then viciously mock this one. Yeah, this one. So it's going to have to do a wisdom save. I think it actually does save. So calling it a booger doesn't work because it likes boogers. Okay, and the goblins are up. So there's 3 left. I think all 3 are going to attempt to attack Mike, because Mike is right there. +4 to hit. This one hits. This was a heroic hit. So Mike Paladin takes 5. And now Max can do sneak attack, 1d6 and 2d6 sneak attack damage. Okay, that was a 19 and a 15, so it's 19, and 11 is more than enough to kill that one. And now Mike is up, so we're going to take our inspiration, and then we're going to use 2d6. 14 + 6 to hit is plenty, so it takes 4 damage. And that is enough to kill this one right in the middle. And who's up next? Lucas Ranger will move the Hunter's Mark to the other one. And then, so we'll have Hunter's Mark, Colossal Slayer, 1d8 damage, and a d20 to hit. That's a 2. Completely misses. Would have been fantastic damage, but no. So Will moves Spiritual Weapon up. That was an 11 plus whatever is enough to hit. That's an 8, so this one is dead. Spiritual Weapon flies to the rescue like Thor's hammer and thwacks it right in the middle of the head. And that is all of those goblins. Now, let us roll a general perception for Balgron. That is a natural 20. Balgron, in the midst of... So we do a camera switch, and what happens is we switch to Balgron and his group of goblins all partying, and Balgron's like, "Shh, stop. Did you hear that?" Heroic level of perception, and manages to hear what he knows, without a doubt, is an attack, because that's what it always is. Except here's the deal. He's not actually in a party. He's with his butler or whatever. And he hears the, getting ready for bed or getting dressed or something, and he hears a noise. What is going on? Let me really quickly just sort of read. Yeah, so wow, that's complicated. I think tactically, yeah, I mean he's left with just one butler. I think he's gonna say, we see his room and we see him order his guard to check the door, and so there's one goblin that sort of goes to this door and sort of peeks out. Maybe there's a peephole or something like that, and doesn't see anything. But Balgron says, "Okay, keep watching. Let me know what happens." So I think that these guys are all gonna go. We're gonna have to recast Spiritual Weapon, and we're gonna head down here and regroup so that Goblin doesn't hear it. And we're regrouping in our marching order. And then we're coming through this burlap, tapestry, whatever. And as we start to march down, this goblin is looking through the door, paying attention, and sees and turns to Balgron and says, "They're coming. It's a party. It's a huge party of humans, warriors." And Balgron books it. And I think this goblin is like at the door going, what do I do? What do I do? Like mesmerized, watching the train wreck of these adventurers come down, and they open the door and find this goblin behind it, sort of looking through a hole in the thing, and they're like, just for a second, they're like, what the hell? Just like doing a double take at each other. So we've got the 13th goblin, and I think so. We're gonna try. Ray of Frost from the second row. 11 is going to cast Ray of Frost and totally misses, firing a Ray of Frost over its head. Dustin plays a little ditty, gives inspiration to Mike, and tries to psychically damage this guy by saying, "Hey, look, it's another little booger." And that's it totally failed. So it's going to do a D4 psychic damage. So that's 2 psychic damage, and it's at disadvantage. And it is up now. I think it's looking at this thing. It looks around for Balrog now and is like, I surrender. I give up. So I think we're going to be out of turn order for right now. Let's go ahead and draw the rest of this room. So the room is like this. And there's a curtain here. And then there's some like beds here. And this is what we see. And then there's a table or a torture. I think it's the same deal. A torture rack and a dinner table for a goblin is probably pretty much the same thing. So I think that they back this goblin up. What's behind that curtain? That's where Balrog sleeps. And so they open up the curtain. Show us. And there's a bed, Balrog's big bed here. And then like a little chest right here. And okay, where's Balrog? And the goblin is like, I don't know. We're gonna roll a deception versus perception. Oh my god, that was all awful. But we did manage to roll above them. So I think we see he's lying. You totally know. I think they run up and they try to intimidate. That's an 18 plus whatever is going to be a heroic level of intimidation. Balrog escaped. And he points to the wall. So let's do Max and Dustin are gonna check that wall. 14. It's not pretty close to heroic level of perception. Like a DC whatever. It'd have to be a pretty crazy secret door. But to fool them at this point. But I think what they see. They notice that there's clearly a fake door right there. So I think they're gonna. Well, they order the goblin to like push the trigger plate or whatever, open it, and they're gonna look. And what they see is a corridor and steps going down, a passage with steps going down. And then get back against that wall. And so and spiritual weapon is hovering just in case. So they search the room. They find this treasure chest. I think Max is like, "Oh, what's this? Toys?" With Dustin's help, I think they're gonna try. That's a 19 plus whatever. That's heroic. So they actually managed to unlock it and find. Oh, I guess that door was supposed to be locked. Oh, well. Oops. Anyhow, whatever. So they find a whole shitload of gold and a +1 magic wand of some kind. So we've got... let's make a note of that. +1 magic wand, whatever that means. +1 magic wand. And then, like, 560 gold. Oh, nice. So, I don't know this yet, but it's +1 to attack and damage. Magic rolls. And it's worth like 360 GP. So we grab all that and the chest. We have bags of holding from Sir Tristan, so we'll put all that in the bag of holding. We probably should have put that. I think we'll hold here. We're going to send 11 and yeah, we'll send these two back to go and check on the sniveling little goblin and find out that he's gone, and then come back. No, he booked it, so obviously we can't trust him. Maybe we'll run into him again. And so they're gonna hole up here. Maybe take a healing potion between them and get ready. So let's take a look at really quickly. Let me take a look at what this one is. I think we're going to hole up here. I'm going to go ahead and call the episode here because the next one is the next area is a little bit more than just a little bit. But so Balgron has fled down this corridor, and so we're going to try and figure out what we can figure out here, and regroup, and then head off to try and get Balgron. And continue this adventure. So thanks so much for hanging out. I don't know how many people are still... Oh, shoot. Well, a couple people are here. But Talk left after saying howdy. Anyhow, sorry, neither here nor there. Thanks so much for watching. And I am getting close to the end of September, or the beginning of September, which means that I probably will not be live streaming anymore. I may be uploading videos for premieres on Twitch, but for the most part, please check out my videos on YouTube. You can find a link on my website, Rigaroga.org, to all of the things that I have. And I'd love to have you like and subscribe over there. And, try and watch me on Twitch for... I'm going to try. I don't know how it's going to work as far as uploading videos and doing premieres, but I'm going to see if it's possible. And so this adventure continues. And I'm also going to be starting up another one, maybe Humblewood, maybe something else. I'm not sure because I just finished the introductory adventure in Seas of Vodari. Yesterday I just finished that. And so I'm not sure what else I'm going to do. But we'll see. Thanks for watching, and then I'll see you next time.